Hi, I'm Matt from Tubby Tarot. Welcome back to another 10 Talk Tuesday. I want to ask you something today, and it was something I was thinking about at dinner the other night when I was chatting to some friends. Are you religious or are you spiritual? Hi, welcome back. Are you religious or are you spiritual? It was a bit of a sort of argument that I had, not an argument, but a sort of quite a heated debate that we had at dinner a little while ago, the other night. And I was of the opinion that I am spiritual. I don't follow any specific religion, but I'm going to come back to that in a minute. And they were saying, no, they're Christian and they go to church and they are very Christian and they are very religious. And they were saying, religion is the way to go. You have to be spiritual to be religious. And I said to them, I disagree with that statement. I don't believe that you have to be spiritual to be religious. And you certainly don't have to be religious to be spiritual. I think that one works more than the other way around, because I think if you are at church, if you are going to church or synagogue or temple, I think you have to have that spiritualness within you. Having said that, religions, organized religions, are very dogmatic. They have rules. You have to follow the rules. The rules have to apply to you. And if you follow those rules, then you are a good Jew, a good Christian, a good Hindu, whatever your religion is. Whereas if you are spiritual, you don't need that dogmatic formula to be a spiritual person. And this is what I was trying to get through to these people. Not in a nasty way, we were just having a conversation. But they were quite sort of dogmatic in their approach. They were like, no, you have to be spiritual to be a religious person. It got me thinking of, and I didn't say this, it got me thinking about those people who are like, your Sunday Christians. And I'm sorry, I know I seem to be picking on Christianity, but it's the one religion that I truly do understand. I'm not Jewish. I don't understand the Jewish religion. So I will focus, I'm going to be using Christianity as the sort of whipping guy, if you will. So please, if you are Christian, please just bear with me. Please forgive me in advance. What they were saying is they're very Christian. And what they were saying is they go to church. That means they're spiritual people. Now, I know that these people I was talking to are very spiritual. They're very kind and very caring and very in tune with their spirituality and very certain of their faith in the church. But I was thinking about those Sunday Christians, the people who are like Christian on a Sunday, and then the rest of the week they are quite nasty and kind of not very charitable and not very Christian-like, and don't follow the rules that Christians are supposed to follow. But then on Sunday, boom, they're back in church asking God for forgiveness. I personally don't believe those people are spiritual in the slightest. They are in church to either get rid of the guilt of what they've been doing the whole week, or they are simply putting on a face because it's the way that their community expects them to act. There's no spirituality there at all. However, with the people that I was talking to, they're very spiritual. They're Christian, but they're very spiritual Christians. They do give to the community. They do believe strongly in their faith. They practice what they preach, is basically what I'm trying to say. And I believe that those people are not only religious, but spiritual as well. And yes, you can be both. Okay? You don't have to be a spiritual person, you don't have to be a religious person. And I think also if to be a religious person, you sometimes don't have that spirituality, but you say, well, I'm a religious person. But I do believe that the absolute best way for dogmatic, organized religious people to say, I am one in Christ, or I am one in Jehovah, or whatever, is for them to have that spirituality as well. They would be spiritual and religious. I do have a bit of a thing about organized religion. I have had very bad experiences. So I believe that my bias towards organized religion certainly does affect my way that I think of organized religion, but I'm aware of that. And I think if you're aware of your bias towards dogmatic, organized religion, you can kind of accept that part of yourself and move on. Having said that, I believe that it is very important to also stand your ground. Don't just let that be like a weakness in you or be seen as a weakness in you. Does that make sense? It kind of makes sense to me. You know what I'm saying. I'm sure you know what I'm saying. I'm saying that just because I'm sitting at a table with very religious Christian friends does not mean that I'm now going to go, oh, yes, that's right. I'm not going to give up my own spiritual beliefs because their beliefs are so much different to me. And they have the same thing. They're not going to give up their belief in Christ just because I have a different view. And that's what's really nice about perhaps engaging in people who are religious. So many times people who are spiritual and who are open to all kinds of things and don't follow a specific religion, we tend to be very dogmatic in our own way. We have become the spiritual church, as it were, the dogmatic, organized spiritual movement, in that we all have also shut ourselves away and are now saying, no, that's completely wrong. You're a Christian and go to church. No, that's not spiritual at all. Jehovah's Witness. Oh no, you can't possibly be right. I'm not talking to you. You're a Jehovah's Witness and I am a spiritual being. I am a being that is in communication with the angels and the spirits of Gaia and my ancestors. Well, that's fantastic, sweetie. That's wonderful. And I personally applaud you. But you have no right to push that onto people who are in organized religious circles. So we as esoteric believers, as pagans, as witches, we are very close to pushing our own beliefs onto other people. I have seen this a lot on YouTube, in YouTube videos, on Twitter, on so many different platforms where the spiritual community, which I regard myself as part of, have become kind of dogmatic in their own way and are not saying, you know what, I'm a spiritual being. I'm happy to listen to you. Okay, so you're Christian. That doesn't mean that I mustn't listen to you. I mustn't engage with you. I don't believe, Matthew, I don't believe that people who are extremely religious and follow a very dogmatic religious, structured religion, I don't believe they're any different to me. They have a belief in what they do, and they have a right to believe in what they believe in. Is this you? Are you the person that goes to church, that goes to synagogue, that goes to temple, and then turns around and says to anybody spiritual, no, you are wrong. Only my God is the God. Are you that person? Or are you the person that is very spiritual, open to energies, engaging with the ancestors, looking at what ghosts are, having ritualized rituals, and then you're saying, no, you are a Christian, you go to church, you are wrong. Open yourself up to the universal energies. You're so blocked off. Are you that person? Or are you the kind of person who, if you belong to a church, you're like, you know what, this is really cool. Let me discuss it with my spiritual people. Let's have a discussion instead of an argument. And it works the other way as well, people. You as a spiritual person, as somebody who does not follow a dogmatic religion, you can also engage with those who follow a organized religious practice or an organized religious sect. Okay, it doesn't have to be either or. And we need to, as a spiritual community, we need to be very, very aware of A, our own bias, and B, that we are not becoming dogmatic in our spiritual beliefs. Okay, that's all I wanted to say today. Are you spiritual? Are you religious? Or are you, as I hope so many of you are, a combination of both? I'm Matt from Tubby Tarot, and I will see you next Tuesday for some more Tent Talk.